You notice the black SUV on a Monday, not because it's unusual. In Culiacan, black SUVs are furniture. They park outside restaurants, idle outside schools, sit at intersections with tinted windows and engines running for no reason anyone asks about. You've lived here long enough to stop seeing them. But this one has been behind you for 4 blocks. And when you turn without signaling, it turns too. You don't say anything. You follow by somewhere quiet in the back of your mind, the way you've learned to file everything in this job, and you complete the route. You deliver Mateo to his 11 a.m. meeting at the tower on Boulevard Insurgentes. You park in the underground structure, and you sit in the vehicle with the engine running and both hands on the wheel. That's the whole job. Both hands on the wheel, always. You were recruited 14 months ago through a man named Cortez, who was not your friend, but was your cousin's friend, which in this city carries the same weight. He told you the position paid 4 times what you were making at the logistics company. He told you the hours were irregular. He told you the family was private and expected discretion at a level most people couldn't maintain. He did not tell you whose family it was. You figured that out on the first day when you saw the gate. There are families in this country that exist in 2 places simultaneously. In the newspapers, they are allegations. In the streets, they are architecture. The clinics they built, the roads they paved, the way certain conversations stop when their name enters a room. The Vega family is both of those things. Rodrigo Vega is the kind of name that makes federal prosecutors use careful language. Mateo is his youngest son, 26 years old, graduate degree from a university in Madrid, speaks 4 languages, and has never, as far as you can tell, directly touched anything his father does. He manages a property development company. He attends charity dinners. He has a girlfriend who designs jewelry and doesn't ask questions. He is, on the surface, completely unremarkable. Your job is to keep him alive. Nobody says this directly, but both hands on the wheel means you already understand. The rules come from a man named Fierro, who runs the household security operation and communicates in short declarative sentences. You do not take the same route twice in the same week. You memorize 4 alternate paths between every location Mateo frequents. You arrive 15 minutes early to every pickup. You do not leave the vehicle unattended in open lots. You call a specific number, not Fierro's, a number you were given on a card you were told to memorize and destroy if anything feels irregular. Irregular is not defined. You are expected to know. You carry no weapon. This surprised you until Fierro explained. Drivers who carry become drivers who make decisions, and decisions create situations. Your job is to remove Mateo from situations, not create new ones. The men who handle situations are already present at every location. You have never seen them clearly. You know they're there because nothing has happened yet. The days are long and structurally empty. You drive, you wait, you drive again. Mateo is quiet in the back seat in the way that wealthy people are quiet, not uncomfortable, just accustomed to silence as a default setting. He takes calls in English and Spanish and sometimes Portuguese. He reviews documents on a tablet with a matte privacy screen you cannot read even from the mirror. Occasionally he asks you to stop somewhere unscheduled, a bakery, a specific pharmacy, a parking structure on the north side of the city, and you note each deviation and report it to Fierro that evening, which is part of the job Mateo almost certainly knows about and has decided not to acknowledge. You learn things about him through observation, not conversation. You learn that he is punctual in a way that feels almost anxious. You learn that he checks his phone differently depending on who's calling, a specific stillness that comes over him when certain numbers appear, a stillness you've learned to watch for in the mirror. You learn that on Thursdays, he visits a building in the Chapultepec district that has no signage and where you wait longer than anywhere else, sometimes 2 hours, engine running, watching the street. You don't know what happens in that building. You know that after those visits, he sits in the back seat for the full ride home without taking a single call. The black SUV appears again on a Wednesday. Different plates, same vehicle profile. You know because you started logging them after Monday, photographs through the side mirror when stopped at lights, timestamps, locations, a note in a password-locked app on a phone you bought with cash specifically for this purpose. Nobody told you to do this. You did it because the alternative is doing nothing. And doing nothing in this job is the thing that ends it. You call the number on the card you memorized. A voice you don't recognize tells you to complete the route normally. Don't deviate. Don't signal awareness. You will be contacted. You deliver Mateo to a dinner at a private residence in the hills, park on the street outside, and watch the black SUV roll past twice in 40 minutes without stopping. Then it doesn't come back. You wait 4 hours in the dark. At 11:40 p.m., Mateo comes out, gets in the back seat, and asks you to take him home. He doesn't ask why there are two new vehicles behind you the entire way. Fierro meets you the next morning at a cafe near the depot. He tells you in the same declarative sentences that the vehicle has been identified. He tells you the situation is being managed. He does not tell you by whom or what managed means in this context. And you understand that asking would be the kind of decision that creates situations. He tells you one more thing. He tells you that your route logging, the photographs, the timestamps, the locked application. Mateo saw you do it 3 weeks ago and mentioned it. Fierro pauses here long enough for you to understand the weight of what he's saying. Then he tells you Mateo asked for you specifically to stay on. You think about that on the drive back. In another life, the detail would feel like a compliment. In this one, it feels more like a door closing behind you. You have been useful. Useful things don't get returned. Useful things stay exactly where they are, doing the thing they do until the situation changes. And in this work, when the situation changes, it does not send a notification. 8 months later, a new driver joins the operation. Young, precise. The kind of quiet that reads as either discipline or fear. You haven't decided which. He asks you on his third day what the job is actually like. You think about the black SUVs and the numbered routes and the 2 hours outside the building with no signage and the phone call in the dark and the way Mateo sits after his Thursday visits. You tell him, this job will make you the most alert person in any room you enter. Your awareness will become architectural. You will see things before they become events, and that skill will feel eventually like a kind of power. Then you tell him the part that matters. That skill is not yours. It belongs to the work. And the work belongs to people for whom your alertness is a resource, not a quality. The moment you confuse those two things, the moment you start to feel like a person instead of a function, is the moment you become a liability. He asks if you have ever thought about leaving. You look at him for a long moment. You tell him that leaving is a plan, not a feeling, and you haven't finished building the plan yet. Then you start the engine, check all 3 mirrors, and pull out into traffic. Both hands on the wheel. Always.